Hey, what's good? Game on, Wisconsin. Welcome back, man. I feel like we've been gone for a while.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
but there's one thing we can all agree on here tonight is that the Bears still suck. Welcome back to Coast to Coast. We took a week off last week. It was Veterans Day. Um, as most of you know, I'm a vet, and I sometimes, man, I'm like, I just want to. I'm just gonna go hang out with my family and chill out, and that's what I needed. So I appreciate you all, and had a recharging day, and I'm well. I'm fucking happy to be back today, man. So how you doing, Umar?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. We needed a bye week. It looks like the Packers needed a bye week. We needed a bye week, and you know
Yeah,
what? I may have said it last week or 2 weeks ago, but you know what? Thank you for your service. I think if you
appreciate
need a
it.
week to just take a step back and appreciate all the sacrifice you've made for this country and for all of us, man, then hey, I'm all for it, brother. So hey, man, do what you gotta do. I'm happy you had a great week off. I know I did. I was driving back from Canada yesterday, so I didn't get to see the game as it was going on, but I definitely was able to hear it, and so I was very annoyed about some of the things that's going on. But for it to end the way it did, holy crap, man, that was a wild ride. These Packers, these 2024 Packers, man, they driving us crazy this year, dog.
Yeah, man, dude, it is. My heart races the whole game. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then like how good love looks at moments, and then like here's the hideous throw on that pick when it felt like, oh my gosh, we're about to take full control of this game right now. And that was just such a game-changing play. So that's my only criticism of him, though. But hey, before we jump into this thing, I still want if you want this the Bears Still Suck t-shirt, go check out Tundra Town Clothing Company, our official sponsor, TundraTownClothingCo.etsy.com. Use our discount code Game on Wisconsin. Get the Bears Still Suck t-shirt so you can rock it when the Bears come to town. It's the last week of the season, right? We'll get to see a little brother. They get to come north late in the season. I like it. I like it. But hey, let's talk a little playoff picture here.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it, brother. Come on, man. Let's talk
Well,
about it. I was gonna say
listen,
like that Bears game. Oh, go, man, go. My bad. Go ahead.
no. I'll say we'll get through the AFC real quick.
Okay.
We'll just kind of take a quick peek at AFC. We'll talk about the NFC, and then where the Packers are right now and the path we would be taking in the playoffs. But of course, we could just start with the Packers and Bears game too.
What you know what? Like honestly, let's just touch on the game real quick. Just let people talk about that, what happened, and just maybe just talk about some pros and cons, right? Like so. Excuse me, real quick. Bears still suck, and the Bears just submitted some tape that they wanted the league to look at if the Packers utilized quote unquote the word leverage on their long snapper to be able to illegally make more pressure on him and then be able to get a block. So they don't want to talk about the 3 false starts they had it in that same drive. They don't want to talk about the OPI that Cole Kmet had committed. They don't want to talk about none of that, but they want to talk about this. And it was already known at one of the Blue Sky. If you guys aren't already on Blue Sky, please come to Blue Sky. Twitter seems to be going down the toilet with a lot of changes. And if you haven't already, I'm on Blue Sky. We're going to game on Wisconsin on Blue Sky. I'm going to try to get Bernie on Blue Sky too. And we're trying to move all of – we're going to have content on both. We're going to keep rocking both ways. But we're eventually going to try to see if we can even get Blue Sky as a live as we have up here with our other affiliated apps that we're right now going through, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And so one of the Blue Sky Zebra I want to say it was like a blog, okay? And they said that they've been looking at the Bears, the way they've been long snapping. The long snapper purposely stays down while he hikes. After he hikes, that way then they can get the penalty for going over the center. So the refs are already looking for it. So when they try to pull that joint, they didn't even call it. They're like, the hell with that. We know what you're trying to do. So yeah, man. Yeah. First drive, I thought Toyotathon Jordan Love was here and he's gonna throw for 4 touchdowns. He's gonna light these Bama's up. And honestly, they were able to get, they got a field goal, they shot the field goal. Then they drove down, they got into the red zone, and, Jordan just missed that pass. And if you watch Tucker Kraft, because I forgot who said it. I don't know if Andy said it, and like Monty and Dan and Camille on their show on Pack a Day. But basically, they're saying how Tucker Kraft, I saw it too. I rewatched the whole game today. Like Tucker Kraft goes up to catch it, and he put his hands down. He thought it was going to somebody else. And then, boom, it's an interception. So you know what?
Yeah.
Minus that one throw, I think Jordan played actually a pretty good game. He was pretty efficient. And as for the Bears, it seems like they got Mitch Trubisky 2.0 because all that guy can do is run until that last he wasn't throwing the ball very well. Defense, Jair being in and out, him not being healthy didn't really help us. I think they expect him to be out there, which kind of screwed us. And, all in all, it wasn't a great game. But like everybody said, including Coach, I'm not apologizing for us winning. I'm going to take it. We're 7-4 now, I believe. And you're right, man. Hey, damn, that sucked. But look, maybe get the bad game out of the way now because we got the Niners coming in house here next week. We can't be making mistakes like that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Hopefully we got that out of the way, and yeah, man, it's I got to start with how I'm glad that we kind of stuck to the run with Jacobs. He kind of got stifled kind of early there.
Yep.
And so I was happy that we didn't bail on that. And Love, man, he's got his resilience, right? He had that bad throw. He was still able to lead the game-winning drive when we needed it. And Carl Brooks, man.
Yeah.
How big has this dude been? And especially, man, it seems like Kenny Walker's kind of disappeared. We are a pass rush away from this team being a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. I think Love just needs to clean it up, and we got the defensive line has got to find a pass rush here, and we're going to be cooking with fire if we can do those two things.
I completely agree, man. It seems like, the pass rush was able to sack Caleb twice and on that final drive, and you thought when they were 3rd and 19, they had it locked. You know what I'm saying? They were like, okay, then they weren't able to get pressure on that 3rd down where he was able to make a completion. And it was, a short completion, but it reminded me of Joe Barry all over again. You get him in long and distance, and then he completes a pass that gets him most of the yards back. So now it's a 4th and short. Now they go for it, right? So I agree with you. It seems like Rashawn Gary's pressures have doubled and tripled since week 5. So that's a good thing, right? You're very astute on Kenny Clark. He signed that big extension. We thought this scheme was going to be so much better for him, and he's been absolutely quiet. I am hoping that it's just because either A, there's an injury that we don't know about, or B, he's still trying to figure out – they're just trying to figure things out for him, and that maybe on the back end of the season, going into the playoffs, he gets turned on. I don't know.
I think it might have been last year or the year before. It's been one of the last 2 years where it kind of felt the same, and it was late in the season. He came out. He had a late season surge. I hope that he just knows he doesn't have a tank big enough for the full season. Right. And he's just been trying to eat up space or something and play snaps. I don't know, but I hope to see something from him. And then Rashawn Gary too. I thought maybe we'd see him coming out of the, because he's coming back from the ACL. And I thought, sometimes guys take they have the whole season that they're injured, and then the first season they're playing, they seem kind of like, oh, they're washed maybe. Then it's actually the second season after their injury, you're like, oh shit, they're back. Yeah. So I'm kind of I'm hoping that's the road Gary's on, but I was hoping to see a spike or a step up in production after the bye week. We got rid of Old Man Smith, and we're going to get some younger guys some snaps. Hey, Cox, register.
Yeah, he had a great game. He had a great game, yeah.
He did. But there was a play where he left his feet, and Caleb escaped then, and I think
that was Kiki. I think that was JJ. That was Kiki Ibarra. I know exactly what play you're talking about.
I was like, dude,
he beat right. He beat right. and he tries to jump over on top of Caleb, but instead he should just hit him, because if he hits him, that's on third down. That would have been now been 4th and 25 instead of he was able to get out the pocket, make a completion. 100% know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was like, okay, all right, there we go.
Yeah, man. So anyways, Cox, he had that great sack because he came in completely untouched.
Yep.
Gotta give him credit though. He didn't let Caleb escape. But we got to figure something out. I don't know what the solution is. If that's trying to blitz Walker and Cooper more, or trying to get creative with your secondary, But how often can you do a safety and cornerback blitz? You usually dial it up once, maybe twice a game. I don't know, man. It's we got to figure something out there along the D line, though.
I think you're right. I think that we're seeing some. I mean, Devontae Wyatt, for the most part, I haven't really seen much of him since he's been back from his injury, right? Quay Walker just keeps getting – I'm a big Quay Walker guy, and it just seems like he's just getting worse and worse. And unfortunately, he's the only Mike linebacker we really have. You have Eric Wilson, and you have Isaiah McDuffie. But I think you play Isaiah at strong. You're playing Cooper at weak. So Quay needs to really get together. He's not attacking the ball. He's not attacking he had a couple times to get a sack on Caleb. He's kind of not sure if he's going to run or what. I don't know. Quay's just playing completely scared. He's not playing with instinct. Mm-hmm. He's thinking way too much. And maybe we need to see Tyron Hopper out there. That's your guy. Tyron Hopper's your guy. I'm willing to take a chance of getting him out there and see what he can do, because right now there was some good plays that Quay had, but there's a lot of bad plays that caused things to go a lot worse than they should have, to be honest with you. And all in all, them losing Jair, I think really screwed them up. So I think they planned on blitzing more, and they couldn't. And they're putting again, Keyshawn on the boundary. Not a fan of that. Having Bullard in the slot, I was okay with. Evan being in was real good. Carrington Valentine, for the most part, had a pretty good game. But I'm with you, bro. Here we are in the middle of the season. We're 7-4, so I'm going to take that. But I was kind of hoping that this defense and offense would be a lot farther along than they are right now.
Yeah, and how do you feel about Ja? How much more are we going to see him this season? Is this something that's going to linger now all season?
I mean, I hope not. I hope not too. I do truly believe that he's one of those dudes where it's when he's out there, he's pretty unstoppable. Right. But the problem is, whatever knee injury occurred, he's trying to play through it. They had him on a pitch count already. And unfortunately, that wasn't going to get the job done. And he must re-aggravate, or he says he wasn't able to play the way he wanted to play. And because of that, they took him out. So I don't know what to expect from him, man. The thing is he had some injury stuff when he came out of college, but then he had a pretty good 2-3 years without really having any injuries. And then that shoulder injury kind of set the stage. Because even in the 2019 playoff game against the Niners, he busted his thumb. I don't know if he broke his thumb, but he busted his thumb pretty bad to where he got out of the game there too. I think he was still playing through it, but he wasn't right. You're right, man. This is the reason why and I know hindsight's 2020. I know that we can't really worry about what happened in the past, and we need to give the Packers brass all the grace that you can give them, because they're pretty good at picking offensive linemen. This is the reason why we're taking Cooper DeJean in the first round. I know Cooper's not a boundary guy. I get that, okay? I'm just saying, you put Cooper out there right now. You have Carrington on the outside. You have, Stokes has kind of been in and out, but you put Cooper in the slot. I'm just saying, Cooper's starting to come and play. I know that our scheme is not what he was built for, but, man, even go back 2 years ago. Go back to Lucas Van Ness. What is going on with him? He's doing nothing. He's literally out there, and he's the meme of the guy that's with the stick poking at something please do something. He's supposed to be a big, strong, fast dude, and we're not seeing any of it. You could easily have Christian Gonzalez. You could have Jackson Smith and Jigba for all I know. I'm just saying, it's a lot of hindsight there, and the problem is that, unfortunately, this is the team. Not unfortunately, but this is the team we have, right? These are players that we have. They got to make it work. And Jeff Hafley definitely has his work cut out for him. Who was the last person decided to make a second-year jump? Kenny Clark. Hell, Kenny made a first-year jump. He came in as a rookie and was pretty dominating, honestly.
Because it took Gary 3 seasons. But I thought we would see Van Ness a little further along. You know, I didn't expect him to be, but I thought he was a dark horse to lead the Packers in sacks. I thought Van Ness could possibly lead the Packers in sacks. But we got to find somebody dominant. That's the thing, is Packers need someone who cannot be trusted, you know, to be left alone in one-on-one situations. And we don't have that guy, because once you have a mismatch problem, that improves everybody else's odds. And right now, everyone is getting, you know, most of the time is losing, man. You know,
and so that's game there. Like, that's the thing. A secondary is only as good as its pass rush. You can have a mediocre secondary, but if you got a pass rush that's pretty legit, they can make anyone look good. Now, the flip side is that if you have a mediocre pass rush, your secondary can only protect so long.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Yeah, Cyril Power here said, on D, it felt like our game plan was protecting the deep. Makes sense looking at the Bears. Oh, I don't think we expected to stall that many times inside the 10.
No,
2 times. The first thing I'm gonna address here is I think we were protecting the deep ball, but here's the thing: I think the Bears they showed it during the game that Caleb Williams was releasing the ball 2.9 seconds after the snap with their former offensive coordinator. And then through 3 quarters of play, it was just over 2 seconds. It was 2.01 seconds during this game. He was releasing the ball. I think they came in with the plan, get the ball out of this young man's hand. Don't let him think. Don't let him think about it. Just set and throw, get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. And it came out. It was working. The Bears were moving the ball, and it was frustrating me. And thankfully they had, they made the mistakes they did. I'm just thankful we overcame, right? I don't think anyone expects to stall that many times inside the 10, Cyril, but it's becoming a habit of ours. With Hafley, right? It's been issues before that we just can't finish, man. It's like you got all the pickup lines, you get your friend, your lady friend back, and you can't close the deal. That's the Packers right now. They got the pickup lines, the good opening lines. They can't close the deal, though, man.
It's a play call, man. I think LaFleur gets a little too caught up in his own whatever. He's normally pretty good about making the right decision, and just lately his play calling's been a little bit off when it comes to the red zone. Even in that 2-point conversion when he runs the ball right up with Jacobs, would have been the perfect time to run the ball with Jordan.
Is this what Cyril was talking about earlier? We said at RPO. I don't have any insight on that at all. There was a whole series there where it was I can't remember where it was. I think it was in the third. I think it's where we didn't get it on 4th down. It was 1st down, and I thought to myself, play action pass right now. And we ran it with Jacobs, and I was like, oh, shit.
What are we doing?
And then I was just like, well, if you ran play action and it didn't work, this is where you would run the ball. And I think they did run the ball on that one. And then on 3rd down, they looked to pass, and Love came up short.
He's short, yeah.
And I thought to myself, when they came out to go for it on 4th, all I could think to myself was you looked to pass on 3rd down. If you knew you were going for it on 4th, you should have had a designed run. But I don't know. There was some times there in this game where I was just like, what are you doing right now, man? I was just like, it reminded me of, have you seen The Princess Bride?
Yes. Where
they have the bat challenge of wits, where he's like, I have a scentless powder in the wine, and he sets it down. And the guy's like, well, I know that you wouldn't put it in front of you because I know you're not a fool. right? And I think Hafley is getting too deep into the weeds. Like, well, here they know that this would be the most important time to run a play action, and I know that they know that. Or I don't know what's going on in his head, man. But it's just like, dude, a whole bunch of us are saying do this, and he's going against the grain. Or if it's love checking out of it, we don't know. But it just seems like, I don't know. It looks just piss poor in the red zone.
I agree. Like, it's one of those things where, like, they get in the red zone and they just nut up, and I don't know why. It's like when they should run, they pass. When they should pass, they run, and it's just like hindsight 2020 is hindsight 2020, and then you got like Monday quarterbacking, right? And I get that, but it's just LaFleur when he had Rodgers definitely had a way of like just him and Rodgers were able to figure out a way to know what the other team was doing, and that probably was Rodgers' experience. So he could be able to kind of get out of plays and things like that. And Jordan's still learning, right? But yeah, there were times where like, was I mad about them being aggressive? Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I'd rather them be aggressive and go for it. And yeah, like the Chicago Bears had to go the whole length of the field. Now, do we expect them to go the whole length of the field and score? No, but they did, right? But that doesn't always happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. I just feel like they're still trying to work out some kinks, which is annoying because here we are, week 10, week 11, and we're almost on the back end of the season. This is where they should be kind of hitting the ground. So, maybe, and they do say when the Packers come out of bye, they do start out a little sluggish. So maybe that's what happened. But, one of the good things was that Christian Watson was able to really come on and have a career game. Like, again, after like he had that game against Dallas. So sign me up, man. I was just like, hey, look, like if this gets him going, then I'm all for it. 100%.
Yeah. Let's see. I saw some things that I wanted to. Oh, it was from Instagram. I checked the Instagram feed. Our boy Jordan, Packers on the Rocks, he dropped a couple message. First, he said, looking like we should have kept Razul. Oh, man. How big of a lift could he be?
100%. 100%.
And then the other thing he had to say, in the red zone, where have the jump balls to Dobbs been?
Yeah.
Or, heck, even Watson, man, he went and got a few, right? What a big game for Watson yesterday. We don't win that game without the yard production, 4 catches, like 150 yards, like a career high for him. Where's that shot to the corner of the end zone to one of your athletic receivers?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I don't understand that. It's one of those things where it's like, the things that got them there, they're not doing it. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to be fine, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, man, like, when you have one-on-one with any of your, with your 2 wide receiver options, just go for it. I hate the fade route annoys me, but Watson's really good at it, and so is Dobbs. So I was like, you know what, or like the quick slant, things like that. But like, it is one of those things where it's just like, all right, we have to get to a point where, we're not trying to just basically shoot ourselves in the foot, and like that game easily could have been, 21-0 if they had capitalized on those 2 red zones. Right, not 21-0, but at least 21-3, 21-10, right? Like we, again, like Detroit, we were able to kind of go down the field, work these guys, but then we get in a red zone. That is where you need your best plays. That is where you need your plays that are going to work no matter what. And you can't have plays where basically Jordan feels like he has to extend the play to get something going. Like that's not going to work. Like no, that's completely like him moving well and his legs looking good. I have to admit, I was like, okay, like he's looking good. Part of me is like, hey, don't, like, again, we talked about yesterday, we were texting each other, right? Like, don't go bad mechanics. Don't be doing the shit you did when you were at Utah State where you're throwing off your back foot and you're throwing bad passes. Like, no, man, like, get back to, like, I understand you can throw from any platform. You can throw from any arm angle. I love that about him. But on the same hand, too, though, you have to make things a little bit easier for a quarterback. I don't care if you have, Aaron Rodgers or if you have freaking, Jordan Love out there. You got to make it easier for either one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it just feels good to get out of there with the win.
Yes.
Honestly, I felt a little frustrated. My nerves were racked.
Yeah, 100%.
One of my good buddies who's a Bears fan, he texted me like he was instantly just like, what a Bears way to lose. And my response was, what a Packers way to win.
Yep. Hey, look, 100%. I couldn't agree more. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to take a win. I'm not going to apologize for wins. I'm not going to apologize for a damn thing. The hell with that. At the end of the day,
especially
we won.
special teams play, especially when it's a special teams play.
That never happens.
The game. I'm like, give me that. We have, you owe us like 5-6 more of those.
Look, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like all these weeks we've been asking, what the hell do you do here, Rich? Like, what do you do here? And that's exactly what you get paid to do. Like, to make that kind of play, to know when to, find a weakness in someone's special teams game and exploit it. That's exactly what you do. I love it. I'm all for it. Like all in all, it was not, the way I expected us to win, but I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. So we have a quite a stretch coming up here. Let's get into this little segment. We call them Packers right now.
Okay.
Let's just talk about what we got coming up real quick the next 3 weeks, right? We host the Niners, and then we go to Miami. Quick turnaround.
Yep.
No. Yeah, for Thanksgiving, right? Yep. Oh, no. Hold on. Am I getting these?
You're right. Yeah,
I got it right. Cool. So we're at home both. Niners and then the Dolphins for Thanksgiving. And then a week later, it's on Thursday Night Football against the Lions. So we got those 3 coming up. We got to hope we go 2-1 in that stretch, right? And honestly, Amar, I don't give a shit how we get the 2-1.
Yes.
Out of those 3 games, I'll take 2 wins. If it's Niners Fins, cool. If it's Fins Lions, cool. If it's Lions Niners, cool. But if it's the Fins that we lose to, and we win the other 2, feel like a trap game, I guess, in between those 2 wins. But I'm saying, man, if we want to stick right where we're at, we got to get 2-1. If we go 3-0 and we beat the Lions, that would put us
honestly
top of the NFC.
I'm 100% with you, bro. Like, I don't care how we get to it, as long as we get 2-1 or 3-0, I'm happy, right? Because 2 of those games, one's a division game, one's a conference game, right? And then the one with the AFC, with Miami is like, okay, that's whatever. I mean, we dropped that game, and we're playing, but we got Miami coming to Green Bay, right?
Yeah,
and they have not been very, very consistent by any means.
It could be cold for them up there.
It could be very cold. It could be. And so I'm with you, man. Like, at the end of the day, like right now, the chances of us winning the division are very slim. I mean, Detroit is not just – they're putting 50 burgers on everybody. It's insane, right?
Yeah.
And then Minnesota is not losing any games right now. They're still finding a way to win. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to keep saying enough so we just stay in the playoff hunt. That's it. And so I'm with you, man. Like, the Niners, they're coming to Green Bay right now, and they're going to be without Nick Bosa, and their defense is nowhere what it was used to be. I feel like their defense is taking a step back in comparison to years in the past. Offensively, they're still pretty good. Debo is back. Kittle's supposed to be back this week. Christian McCaffrey obviously is back, right? So, and the thing is, they just lost to the Seahawks, so they're pissed. They're 5-5 right now. They ain't a very happy camp. They're going to be coming into Green Bay pissed off as hell. So we're going to get their best shot. And in the regular season, LaFleur does pretty well against the Niners. It's just in the playoffs where he kind of struggles, right? Yeah. So I am really looking forward to seeing what kind of team shows up for the Packers and how we can really take on this very pissed off Niners team.
Oh yeah. No, I was happy because I watched that in the afternoon. That Niners Seahawks game, being out here in Washington and having a lot of Seahawks fans, and I was happy for my Seahawks friends. Yeah, but I thought, oh man, they just pissed the Niners off. the Niners are going to be desperate. The good thing is I think the Packers were not satisfied. They were happy with the win, right? They were happy they got the W, but I don't think they were satisfied yesterday. So I think we'll see a freaking Packers team that's going to come in focused and work hard this off week or this week leading up to this game. So I'm feeling good. Then the short week, the good thing is right, the Fins come to us on the short week. And then we have to go to Detroit for our back-to-back Thursday games. When's the last time someone played? I want to know that. When's the last time an NFL team played back-to-back Thursday night weeks or Thursday.
I have no idea, man. I have no
idea. Has that ever happened? Someone go stat of the day. Don't they do that on Dan Patrick, right? Stat of the day, stat of the day. Right. Last team to play back-to-back games on Thursday. Someone go find that.
Let's go find out.
But hey, sustains Packers right now. What are some things Packers are doing right now that they need to sustain, to keep doing, to keep this playoff picture growing for us?
Running the ball.
Yeah, baby.
They are still top 3 in running the ball in the league. They need to keep it up. They need to somehow get that to top 2 because they're not number 1 because they know I'm going to be running the ball more than Baltimore. I'll just say that right now. But you got to keep sticking to the run. I don't care how healthy Jordan is. I don't care what he's doing. Josh Jacobs needs to be getting 20 to 25 touches a game, if not 30 touches a game. I'm talking about in the passing game. I'm talking about in the running game. He needs to be out there. He needs to touch the ball. And not just him. I mean, Emmanuel Wilson looked good. Chris Brooks looks amazing. Yes, bro, they all look great. Like, you just keep rotating them out. Like, you're not having any drop-off in your talent in the backfield with those guys, right? Also having Jayden Reed come out the backfield and try to throw teams off a little bit. Definitely down with that. But, yeah, definitely the run game. Run game we need to be almost like a Kyle Shanahan team, right? Where you are running the ball to set up the pass. Run the damn ball. Cyril's correct.
Cyril says running the ball. Soder says keep running the damn ball. That's Play action, feed 100%. Watson and Reed. Right? I think that's how we all feel about this offense is sustained. Right? Love looks good on play action, and then you can use the play action to roll him out. Give him that option to use his feet to make some more plays. Defense. What are some things is there anything that we should sustain on defense?
Honestly, one thing that we need to sustain is Rashawn Gary's pressures. His pressures have been coming on really strong these last couple of weeks, and that needs to keep going up. I think that the better he plays, the rest of the defense plays better. I mean, when he had that sack and he came off and he was looking at the camera, he's looking off to the sideline. He's like, the mask is all jacked up looking and everything. He looked pissed as hell. I was like, yeah, that's it. And right now, the Niners offensive line minus Trent Williams is garbage, and Pooney. Dominic Pooney's a beast too. Everybody else is whack. I was like, you need to exploit that. And I thought they would do a better job of exploiting Chicago's offensive line, and they had their moments, but for the most part, they didn't do a great job. Right? We need to figure out a way to develop some kind of pass rush against, because Brock is the kind of player who he can make mistakes. Like if you pressure him and you put him into he can run too now. He's another guy that's a little squeaky little dude.
Yes, he is.
He can run and get first downs a lot too. He ain't gonna run for like 100 yards, but he can do what Caleb was doing. Caleb almost ran for like 80, 90 yards because he just kept taking advantage of these situations, right? I was like, yo, the hell with that, man. Like,
dude, he was pissing me off yesterday.
Bro, I was like, yo, man. That's why I was like, when I think someone said, oh, look, the Chicago Bears got another running quarterback. And I was like, yeah, basically. Yeah. And that last drive, he was throwing the ball pretty well. But all in all, he wasn't really getting much throughout the air. He was beating us on the run. And that's because Thomas Brown, we weren't used to his offense. We weren't sure what to expect from this offense, right? So, of course, Halfley was playing a little bit like, he was playing up on the impression of what Shane Waldron was doing. What he really should have done maybe was go back and look at Thomas Brown when he was coaching the Panthers, which I'm pretty sure he did. But even then, that Panthers team was a lot worse than what the Chicago Bears are right now. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, all in all, just need to keep the pressures up for Gary. I think if you do that, everybody else will start performing at his level as well, too.
All right. Nice. Item improved. What's something we got to improve in this offense, right? Because in my opinion, we are a playoff caliber team right now. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen consistent enough. I see flashes of great things, but I don't see the great things consistent enough. I feel like to say we're a Super Bowl contender right now. So what's one thing on the offense, one thing on the defense we need to improve?
Offensively, red zone efficiency. I think down the red zone, just need it. Once you get in the red zone, you need to score points. 3. Yeah. I mean, field goals are great, but you need, if you're within 10 yards, you need to be scoring touchdowns, plain and simple. Yes. And on defense, I just think we need better play from our linebackers as a whole. We need better play from Quay. We need Quay to take the next step instead of taking 2 steps back, because right now that's killing us. The middle of the field, middle linebacker is killing us. And maybe 4-3, as great as we want it to be, is not looking that great right now for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we might just not have the right personnel, right? This is year one of this new system, and sometimes you kind of you keep too much of the old era, and you realize like, oh shit, maybe these guys aren't good for this system. Yeah. So maybe give it another year. So I guess improves for me. I definitely agree with you on the red zone, and I guess this kind of goes in hand with the red zone. But I just want Love to stop making really bad mistakes that are just like momentum killers, right? There was the pick six in LA. Yep. There was the pick six, was it last week?
Detroit, yeah.
And then then the brutal pick. Yesterday when we thought we were going to take control of the game. So just those big mistakes. And I think if he cuts that out, get rid of those picks, man, and we'll see a nice stretch of games like we got last year. I don't think we'll get 10 in a row. We don't. I think we ran out. If we get 10 in a row right now, I think that'll be on the way to the Super Bowl. So maybe this is where we start our 10-game stretch with Love. But for defense, let's get back to getting turnovers, man. We were really turning the ball all over, forcing turnovers earlier in the season. This defense, it seems like it's kind of fallen off recently. But I guess with that Lions game, that was a tough one. But that's kind of I'm seeing, and I guess another improve is that linebacker play. Like you're saying, we need more from Quay. And the thing is like I have more hope in seeing improvement in Cooper this year than I do Quay, right? Quay's been here for a few years now. We might just have what we have with him at this point. But Cooper, I'm hoping to see some steps forward. Let's look at this comment section. I think there's something going on here. Oh, it's just I don't know what's going on. Hi, Gorilla. Once you get 10% healthy. It says mac and cheese are here. Keep up the good work. Mac says hi. What's up, mac and cheese?
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. But so yeah, those are things I think we need to improve. Let's just talk ceiling floor real quick.
Okay.
What's the ceiling right now? What is the ceiling of this team? What's the floor of this team right now?
I mean, I feel like ceiling we could be a top 10 defense and a top 5 offense. Yeah. And I think floor is that our defense keeps trending in the wrong way when it comes to not having more takeovers. And then on offense, we'll notice that we'll stay in the bottom of the league when it comes to red zone efficiency. I think those are like the way we can go really good or we can go really bad in those areas. And the good teams, they find a way to get turnovers and stops when they need to, and then also score when they need to as well too.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit different direction with the way I approach my ceiling and floor. I'm going to think about I'm thinking about their season here, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And I liked your answer though. And so like right now, I feel like the floor is just like a wild card first round exit. The way we're playing,
yep.
But the thing is the ceiling. The way we're playing right now, I don't think we can win the NFC North. Right? We kind of said how hard that path is to win the NFC North.
Yep.
So the highest we can climb is the 5th. Pick, and I think the ceiling of this team would be to move into that 5th place, move ahead of Minnesota, and I think this team, because of the way we've pulled some wins out and looking at the rest of the NFC North, I think this team could make it to the NFC Championship. But the way we're playing is I don't think we would get past that because we would likely run into the Lions. And we're just not beating the Lions right now, man. So that's where I see it right now. I don't think this is a team that can make a Super Bowl run. But the good thing is there's lots of season left, and we're going to see some more steps forward.
Right.
So I guess we just want to be respectful of everyone's time. We don't want to go too wild and crazy, but we do want to talk a little bit of the playoff picture.
Yeah.
So let's I'm trying to think here. If it started today,
yeah,
we would meet the Arizona Cardinals, right?
Okay. Arizona's playing a lot better right now, but you're right that would be we would go to Arizona probably, so that would be pretty tough.
Yeah, there you go. A little playoff bracket there.
Yeah.
I think that's
and then we would play Detroit in the divisional, which would suck.
well, it's the lowest seed goes there.
Oh, okay. So
we would want the Commanders to pull an upset, right?
Yeah,
in Philly, which is totally realistic.
I think so,
in my opinion. And so you would have the Commanders going to Detroit then. So that's that's what we would want, man.
And then we would then we'd either go to Atlanta or
Minnesota.
Yeah.
And how fun of a matchup is that, though? That Falcons Vikings, if that's the way it landed in the playoffs, you get Kirk Cousins gets a shot at his old team.
Oh my gosh, dude! Holy crap, that'd be fun. That'd be a good time. That'd be a good game. I just think that man, that would be the way the Falcons are. They're so Jekyll and Hyde right now. You don't know what you're gonna get with them.
Yeah. I like where Caleb's head is at. Caleb says Packers run the table.
Hey.
What's up, Caleb? Good to have you back, man.
It could happen. It could happen. Now, what were you asking me before? Who would we want to see or not see? Who would we not see on the AFC side? And I think
I was to say, we're saying hypothetical. Packers do make that run. They do run the table to the Super Bowl. Who would we want to see? Who would we not want to see from AFC?
I think if it comes down to it, I don't know if I want to see Philly again because I think Saquon has really hit the ground running, and then also Jalen Hurts is playing a lot better too. I really don't want to see Philly, but if I do, then we do. Philly and Detroit to me are teams that we're gonna have to play one of them, and maybe I would take Detroit because they are the more familiar team. But the way Detroit's playing right now, they are playing absolutely amazing football. But they're beating up on the team they should be beating up on, right?
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things.
Hopefully their candle's burning too brightly right now, and Lions have a bad stretch of games. Maybe they're that team that they take that week off, they get their bye week, and they come out all clunky.
It could happen.
That happens to one seed sometimes. But I would want to avoid the Eagles on the NFC in Detroit. But you win that game, odds are we're likely seeing one of those two teams. We would but it all comes down to the Commanders pulling that upset. I'm not scared of the Falcons or the Vikings. And it's cool. I think the Commanders, it's impossible for us to match up with the Commanders. I think the only way that would happen is if we met in the NFC Championship.
Right.
At the AFC side, say the Packers were good, made a good enough run to get to the Super Bowl. Man, I'm telling you that Pittsburgh defense is brutal right now.
Yeah, they're no joke, man.
So, but Russell Wilson doesn't scare me. The Packers-Steelers rematch in the Super Bowl would be fun. I would be open to that idea.
That would be awesome, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see the Chiefs, man.
No. I feel like if we did see the Chiefs, I think we would beat the Chiefs. I think we could beat the Chiefs, personally.
Yeah. I think we could too. I think honestly, the Ravens are the team. The Ravens and the Bills. I don't think I'd want to see the Ravens or the Bills. I've seen enough of rushing quarterbacks playing the Packers team. I think Lamar Jackson would tear us up. But I would love to see
a shootout. I think that would be a shootout. Ravens and Packers would be a shootout.
Yeah, that would be a shootout. But give me the Texans again.
Shit.
But I don't think
they're so inconsistent right now. I'll take that all day. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I've always been a homer or in favor of your division winner should host a playoff game. Now that we've expanded the playoffs, I'm getting closer to the side of feeling like the team with the better record should host the game. But then what's the point of winning your division then? But what's the incentive? I don't know.
You get a home game regardless, right? That's what it comes down to, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah, if you win your division, you get a home game. But now we've seen a lot of times where there's a 11-5 wild card team, and that goes to a division winner who's like 9-7, and you're like, what the hell, man? The freaking what was it? The Seahawks, was it 7-9-1 or something like that? They won the NFC West that one year at 7-9-1, and then they won. Then they beat the Saints in that playoff game. Wasn't that the Marshawn Lynch game? I don't know, man.
That was a crazy game. You're right.
Yeah. But anyways, man, the playoff picture is here. It's real. The Packers would have to really fuck it up to not get I'm feeling comfortable, though. Before we jump off the air, Amar, and go watch the Cowboys season fall apart.
Yes, sir.
And end. Maybe this is McCarthy's final game. Who knows? But give me some last words, man.
Last words, man. Just, I don't think we should never really worry about losing or we should never worry about winning ugly as long as we win. We should enjoy the ride for as long as it's going on, because right now this team is one of those teams where it's going to be up and down. We're not, it's great to watch teams like Detroit blow people out. That's awesome and great. But the truth is, the best people that make it through the playoffs and through the Super Bowl, they go through adverse times and they find a way to win no matter what. That's what happened here. And we've had some really close games where we were up, we were down, but we still squeaked it out. Hey, give me that all day. Because in 2014, basically we were destroying people, right? And then we ran the table in 2016. We pretty much were destroying people then too. 2020, we were destroying people again. And what happened? We got into games where we weren't dominating and we had a hard time coming back from those. So, hey, you know what? Sign me up all day for these kind of wins. I'll take them. It builds character. And this team has been there last year, so they know how to win when their backs are against the wall.
Absolutely. They're getting some of these close wins, good experience to get. This is where we kind of found some momentum. Last year, we got 7 regular season games to go.
Right.
And then we would have 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. So, Love, if you got another 10-game streak in you right now, that's our road. That's our road to the Super Bowl. So I have faith in this team, man. It was a hostile crowd. It was a hostile environment. The Bears came fired up to play. They had just got rid of their offensive coordinator. This is the most historic game in all of football. This one is another historic game. Another historic chapter, and it's another Packers win, baby. And like you said, I'll take them however I can get them, especially in this rivalry, man.
Hell yeah.
So that's our time, folks. We'll be back next week. Hey, we got a big one, baby. Packers, Niners. We know how we feel about this one. Anytime we can beat the Niners, it's going to feel real good.
Yes, sir.
Hope to see you next week. And as always, go Pack, go.
Go Pack.